Fala pessoal, tudo bem com vocês? Hoje eu quero mostrar para vocês uma coisa inédita. Eu conversei com a Sara e com o Brian. Eles têm um negócio chamado Unsettling Toys, eles são de Portland, em Oregon, nos Estados Unidos, e basicamente o que eles fazem é receber bonecos, principalmente, palhaços, brinquedos, que são perturbadores que as pessoas não querem mais, né, no estilo do Chuck, da Annabelle, do Robert. Eles recebem então esses brinquedos que são de alguma forma ameaçadores, ou até alguns que as pessoas gostam bastante, e querem ter certeza de que eles vão ser bem cuidados, né? Então eles recebem e procuram famílias que queiram adotar esses bonecos. Eu tinha visto uma entrevista com eles na Vice, um tempo atrás, e eu convidei, então, a Sara e o Brian para conversar um pouquinho com a gente e contar um pouco mais dessa experiência, de como começou, né, e como que eles pretendem, como é que é a relação deles aí com esses bonecos e tal, né? Então, galera, fiquem ligados aí e curtam o vídeo. Valeu! Hello everyone, welcome. So today we have Brian and Sara from Unsettling Toys with us. Welcome and thank you for joining us and accepting to be here today.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
So I saw the interview that you guys gave for Vice, and I just couldn't believe it. You know, the way you do it with so much passion.
Yeah, it was actually Brian's idea. You know, people would give us lots of weird toys and weird, creepy stuff because we both love horror movies and we both love scary things. And Brian had the idea one day, like, someone should make a business to take all the toys that people don't like in their house, you know, great grandma Beth's toys, and get them to the people who really like collecting that sort of thing.
Yeah. And then for my birthday, when I turned 50, Sarah was kind enough to gift me with the business cards, website, the whole deal, and then immediately took off from there.
And Brian was giving business cards to everyone, and I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, I was really making a I was making a show of it, that's for sure.
And at that point, you already had many dolls, or how? Because I know that you have some that are from your private collection, right? You don't put in for adoption, right?
That's right.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. At the time, we actually didn't have any that we wanted to rehome. We kind of put out a message on our Facebooks and on our social media saying, like, hey, we want to try this idea. Does anyone have any dolls in their house that you don't want or that are like kind of freaking you out? And we were surprised. We got quite a few right off the bat.
But have you ever been scared? I mean, because we have a lot of movies about dolls, right? We have that one about, I think it was about Robert.
Robert
the doll.
And we do have the story about Annabelle, and we do have Chucky, which is kind of funny. But I mean, have you ever been felt like frightened about having those dolls?
Yes, constantly. I am. I mean, I've always had a little an aversion to dolls, and especially clowns. Clowns scare me, and I think it's just something I grew up with. That's one of my main fears. And it's interesting because you can have fears like these things, and then when you immerse yourself and see them from a different point of view, they're not nearly as scary. But yeah, it's
and we've got them all over here all the time.
This is creepy.
There's about like 500 of them just over on another part of the room. Like they're all over. So we kind of got used to them.
Alessandro, they're always looking at me.
Oh boy. So yeah, but you know, so then we have all of these movies where people with one doll get haunted, and then we have 500 of them. And have you ever felt threatened, or you know, not just that, but did you ever see anything that you'd say, oh, this is not normal, like the dolls changing places or looking other directions?
You know, when we started this, we thought that if anything weird was going to happen, it would be like the dolls moving a little bit or objects moving. But you know what happens all the time is technology goes haywire. Like this one doll, when it was in Brian's car, the back window of the car would roll itself down. Or his when he used to live in a different house a couple years ago, his upstairs neighbor, we brought a doll in and like her computer just fried. Like
that was the same doll too.
Yeah. Oh, those are both the same doll. Yeah, we've had a couple that are like pretty intense, but it tends to be more like electronics or technology that goes haywire rather than like a book opening or like a doll moving.
Kind of a funny story is when we first started, we went to a kind of a little convention. It's called
the Oregon Ghost Conference.
Oregon Ghost Conference. And we had kind of a special doll to us, and we thought, oh, well, you know, these people would understand, and maybe a little raffle thing, you know, it'd be kind of neat. And so it was sitting out there and people were looking at it, you know, like, oh my goodness, has it been cleaned of spirits and stuff? And,
right. It really freaked some people out.
Then like they were reading the numbers for the raffle at the end, you know, you get a ticket. And when it came up, the doll just tipped over.
Yeah, like it came up to be her turn. Yeah. And the person's like, all right, the next thing we have is this doll from Unsettling Toys. And she goes,
yeah.
And the whole room, like I thought people would laugh or like scream, but instead the whole room went like this huge gasp of like hundreds of people. It was really something.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, but the family that ended up with her, it loves her so much. It was a really, really good fit.
Yeah.
We made sure that the people who we were choosing from were people who would be good fits for her.
That's amazing. And you do have more like regular customers, or is it just random?
Yeah, no, we have a lot of repeat customers. People will adopt one and then love it a lot, or think their one needs a friend. Like a lot of people come back and get more and more. We also have some collectors that are less interested in the attachment part and just really like stuff that looks unsettling.
Mm-hmm. And we have people that take them all across the world too, with them, like little mascots.
Yeah, a lot of people take their dolls traveling with them. We get pictures of them in Paris and Mexico. Like, where have we gotten some lately? There's been a lot. People take their dolls traveling.
And did it ever happen that you would get like a customer that would be so frightened that they would ship it back to you?
You know, we haven't had many customers do that, but our clients will adopt one and their family member will ship it back to us.
Yeah.
Like their husband or wife or mom or whoever will be like, no, and send it right back.
I don't know if you've seen the website, but we have a little guarantee that is, if you send us a doll that you want rehomed and it ends up somehow back at your house, that we'll take it back for free.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. And did it ever happen?
No,
it never happened.
That was.
But you know, the reason we're really passionate about asking people to send it back to us, if it's not a good fit, is because one person early in the project adopted one and loved it, but then became afraid of it, and she actually burned it and buried it in the backyard. Because she was very frightened. And so we really encourage people, if it's a bad fit, we don't want that any more than you do. You know, we really want it to be, you know, compatible with the family it's going to. So, yeah, we always, when we're talking to people about adoption, we always remind them that like, we'll work with you. If it's a really bad fit, we'll work with you.
Because you said you have, you both love horror movies and you know, and I was thinking like, did it change like your relationship with horror since you beginning work? Because like one thing is like you love something as an entertainment thing, but then if you are holding objects that maybe some kind of have some kind of relationship with some spiritual or, you know, unexplained things, that maybe could, you know, maybe like a too big of a step, right?
That's a really great question.
Yeah, that is.
I think it for me personally, when I watch a scary movie, I immediately see every doll that's on the screen. You know, I see them, I'm like, okay. and then you wait. I keep watching it, and oh, that thing's gonna move. You know, whether or not it's just in the background or whatever. But yeah, gosh, I'll have to think on that, because that's a very interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's interesting because as we've worked with all these dolls and clients and things that some people perceive as scary and other people love, in some way it's kind of made things less frightening, because we'll get a toy and someone's like, oh, it's really scary, and like to sort of see it with compassion and see the person that's a good match for it sort of takes away a little bit of the fear.
Even in the movies, the children are more sensible. Did any of the dolls try to contact their children, or?
My kids sometimes definitely get a different read on toys than I do. There's only been one that gave my son bad dreams, and so that one went immediately to a different building until it was adopted. But yeah, they do interact with them differently. They sometimes seem to sense more things about the doll's past than we do. And yeah, but both of my kids have always liked horror, you know, like they're okay with spooky stuff because I do spooky stuff. And so I just think they're really comfortable with that. So they tend to get sort of attached to the dolls sometimes and just really like some of them. And some of them they don't care about at all. It's interesting.
Is there something too scary for you to handle, or?
Yeah, so when we get one that makes us uncomfortable with the backstory, we tend to just move it along. And you know, one of the funniest things we've noticed is that the dolls that look damaged or look unusual are not the ones that have the scariest backstories. Like I have one here that was sent to us. She's absolutely beloved, and her former owner worked in hospice, so working with people who were very, very ill. And the owner would come home and tell the dolls every day about her difficult job. And so she just loves the dolls, but didn't have room to store them anymore. But they're pretty intense looking. And check this out. We have 17 of these from her, and they're really intense. But she says they're all positive energy. Yeah. But when we were unboxing them, the first set of dolls, she actually drove 10 hours up to hand deliver them to us. It was a long drive because she loved them so much. That the second box she shipped, and when we took them out of the box, a black widow spider crawled out of one of their eyes.
So
that was so scary.
It was like one of those things you'd see in a movie.
Yeah,
you know?
and then like, I like to be your friend. Like they're pretty intense, and these ones come to us as all positive energy. So. Yeah. You can never tell from looking at them, I guess. You know, we always say there's three main reasons that people send us dolls. Either love, like the talking violet doll, where they just really, really love the doll and want to make sure it's treasured and not thrown away. Fear, people get scared. Like, I think this doll is going to hurt me. And I think it's very bad luck and bad things are happening. But if I throw it away, I'm going to make it angry. So I'm going to send it somewhere it can find a new home, and hopefully it'll leave me alone. And then guilt. So many people inherit dolls that they don't want from their family. And the dolls were very meaningful to like their great grandmother or someone, but don't mean very much to the person. And they feel really guilty getting rid of it, but they feel much better knowing that it will be treasured in a new home. So I think love, fear, and guilt are the three main reasons we get toys from people.
Do you see any relationship between like the doll's age, let's say, and how spiritually active they are?
Well, I think that some of the older dolls just have a much greater history, you know, that we can impart. But I think as far as like attachments, I don't think it really matters on the age. And that's kind of open to interpretation. I mean, people have their own belief systems, and but I found that the older ones, you know, kind of like me, I've just been around a long time and I have a lot of stories.
More opportunities to have. All right, so this doll actually came with a really scary story. Sorry. Her former owner went back to her childhood home and found this. There's actually two Pearl dolls, but this is just one of them. But she had a nightmare while she was there, that she had called the doll Frog Face. And then the doll got really, really mad and was trying to hurt her. And when she woke up, she felt like something was trying to burrow into her neck. Like, it was a very, very scary experience for her. And like, this doll is fairly modern and not particularly, you know, it's not the creepy, cloudy-eyed composition doll I think of.
It's not scary. It doesn't look any more scary than the actual Annabelle, for example.
I mean, when we began, I was quite skeptical. I think even in that video in Vice, I mentioned that, you know, but over the 2 years, 3 years, 2 years since?
2 years since Vice, yeah.
It's really opened my eyes. And it's not any specific event. It's just
the accumulation of like a whole bunch of weird things that have happened over time. You know?
And then all the stories.
And what's the scariest thing you have heard?
There was one where the doll fell out of the closet and broke its leg, and then a week later, the little girl who was 2 fell on a trampoline and broke her leg, same place.
Yeah.
And then like they fixed the doll up and put it back in the closet, and a year later, the girl told her parents at breakfast that someone was calling her in the closet at night.
Yeah.
And they noped that doll right over to us really quick.
It's funny, when they sent it to us, they didn't even tell us the story. They just wanted to get it out of their house before they even let us know what was going on.
Yeah. There was one where a lady got a toy and then just had a string of crazy bad luck, like fell and hit her face on her car door and lost her teeth, and like just injury after injury after injury. And that's something we've seen a few times that's pretty scary. You know, those stories get kind of intense because they're really impactful to the people.
Yeah. Those that affect you the most, do you have like special storage for them? Like the Annabelle has the box.
No. Yeah, I don't have a box, but I do have a room where they go into the special ones. You know, the ones or ones that we just get. We'll kind of keep them from the herd, I guess, and just to see, you know, how they feel. And so we do have a special room for those.
Yeah, but if we have concerns about anything being scary to the kids or too scary to us, we'll actually take it to a storage area. We'll keep it out of our household because that's super not worth it. But that's only happened twice, maybe. Yeah, Brian is quite unsettled by clowns. Yeah, so I put this one here just for him.
Wow. Yeah, it's not. I don't know how I feel about this, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure I know how I feel about.
Well, it's like this one brings me mixed feelings, so I don't really know how to react to it.
Yeah. Yes, clowns. Ever since I was a child, always got that
kind of freak him out.
Yeah, got me in the feels.
No, I understand, because that combination, that mix of children in offense things with threatening things, they don't, you know, it just makes things more scary than
for sure. Yeah. Well, we're so thankful to be on. It's really interesting and fun to talk about, you know, something that we're passionate about, and that other people share that, you know, it's amazing.
Wow, this one is kind of creepy.
This Kathy, yeah, he's pretty great.
Ventriloquist guy.
Yeah, we love this one. He's in our permanent collection because we like him so much.
What's our favorite one? Do you have a favorite one?
I've got a favorite one. On our website, we have a page that's personal collection he's called Will. And he's a homemade little doll.
Little crocheted ragdoll style.
Yeah, and he's just he's kind of sad looking, and I really, really loved it. Did Cappy just turn the lights off?
I think he did. That was super weird.
Yeah, I've noticed a change in the lights. Was it the doll?
Yeah, the lamp turned off. That was super weird.
How funny. Oh, we're in it now.
Uh-oh.
Cappy.
Oh my god, that was weird.
That was weird. But yeah, so Will is my mate. Yeah, Will's definitely my favorite. all of them, almost all of the ones that we keep are ones that I've fallen in love with.
Yeah,
So,
Brian loves all the like handmade ones.
I'm not, I have a tough exterior, you know, but I got a heart.
A soft heart.
Yeah, she was.
So we've got this one. This one came from an older gentleman who was spent most of his time in his home, and there were a whole bunch of dolls, including this one in his front room, and they were creeping him out so bad he actually asked his neighbor for help and was like, "Please help me! You have to get them out of here." and so she brought them to us, but this one was terrorizing a gentleman in his home.
I would not sleep in the same room as that doll for sure.
Yeah, that's something.
And then I've got this one. She's
Oh,
got
this
attitude.
is cute.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
kind of fancy. This one was beloved. Someone liked her a lot, but when people see her, several people have seen her and just been like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
she's got a lot of energy."
Definitely striking. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Maria,
Yeah.
our
Maria.
medical dummy.
Oh, yeah.
Maria's kind of something.
She's life size.
Yeah.
She used to be used to help nurses learn how to give shots and stuff. But like,
Look at Alessandra.
she's pretty intense.
Yes, I can tell.
And she's from Texas. She's from Texas in the United States, and someone bought her from an older lady, and while they were driving her home, actually got in a car crash.
Yeah.
And they survived. You know, he was okay, but Maria was just too much. And it was like a household where they like creepy stuff. Like the person who bought her really likes creepy stuff, and Maria was just too much for the whole family. So she came to us, and now, you know, she's a lot here.
Wow, she's missing some fingers.
She is missing some fingers. And her feet, oh my God, I have to show the feet. Her feet are modeled, I think, after real people's feet. Like she has fingerprint things on her toes. Like, and you can see like veins in her feet. Like it's really, and her feet are like foot textured. Like it's so weird. Her feet are the weirdest thing about her, because they're really lifelike.
It's not right in a lot of ways.
It's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's Maria.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure talking to you today. I really appreciate you guys participating. And for people that would like to reach out to you, how can they find you?
Well, our website is unsettlingtoys.com, and we're on Instagram, and our handle's at unsettlingtoys. Our email is unsettlingtoys@gmail.com. Really, I guess no one's ever done this before, because we have just Unsettling Toys on almost every platform. So
Yeah, I totally understand it. It's amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. And I wish you all the best and all the luck.
thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun.